So there was a sense in which the peasant community would cohere around these joyous occasions. A priest and perhaps the Lord would also attend some of these events, which would, to some extent, they would revolve around the church, of course, which would be the focus of a lot of their social life as well. We may not like these class divisions, but the fact of the matter is that in the local community, the community did cohere, that there was a sense of belonging together, whatever one's social station. And that was generated by this sense of the richer taking care of the poorer and vice versa. And I think in modern industrial society, this has inevitably been undermined.
We also keep sheep. That's my son, his living is for sheep, you know, to keep the sheep. Yes. The people that are in charge of this, the Barclay brothers, Frederick and David Barclay, are media people. They own the Telegraph newspaper in London.
The badge, it's over the helicopter. The Barclays have applied to build a helicopter pad here, supposedly for emergency use only. But we know that they wanted to do it as a dual purpose so that they could transport themselves and their guests into the island. So, yes, that's why we've very politely said no thanks.
We used to be on top of the head? Very upset when we had to kill the sheep, you know, but so my eyes are watering, it's just with the wind. She coming?
No.
Oh.
Okay.
Repeatedly, their lawyers have made statements in the media saying that Brecco is not part of Sark, and that the Tresian was illegal, and the Seigneur was illegal, and the Seneschal as well. And it's been a constant battle on their part. It's been a very one-sided affair. They have referred to it as a feud, but my simple mind tells me that a feud has got to be two people. The amounts of money that have been expended on court cases, fighting our laws in London, which must be many hundreds of thousands of pounds. Had that money been spent in Sark for the benefit of the people, it would have done a lot of good. People from New York Times are over today. My wife will be speaking to them. To their wife.
He's not dressed yet.
I am partly deaf.
He's 93 years old.
We know that.
Yes.
Unless you say have a beer. English say more haste, less speed. We say other things, but I can't say it on the television. I haven't got one then. No, I haven't got one. 93 is correct, sir? And will you tell the Spanish people that even though I'm 93, I still have one big ambition. I want to be 94. But not to be surprised, because Sark holds the record of longevity.
Yes.
3 years ago, they opened up a new cemetery. Had to shoot 3 men to get it going. No. And then to turn. Pete, can you do it? And there we are.
cliff.
When I came in 1975, it was like finding the England I could just about remember from my childhood, with the same values. People were brought up straightforward and honest, and they didn't tell lies. They really did look after their neighbours. There was a tremendous community life.
Come on, let's make a pathway. Father Christmas is coming! He's coming!
I've got to go in there, have I? Yes or no? No?
Start to get that way, you're getting
That's one thing about Sark. We always have good meals.
But of course, as the years went on, the older Sark people died. Many of the tenants sold to outsiders who had not been brought up to believe that one did one's duty for the island. So slowly the residents of Sark changed from being almost wholly Sark and very Sark orientated, who really did work for nothing for the good of the island, to people who were used to earning for what they did.
I'm off to California.
We only fish in the summertime.
Sarky. I won't tell you how long ago. People say change is good for us. They say. We will see. I prefer to slow down a bit. Slow down. Instead of doing it in 4 or 5 years, do it in 10, 15 years.
Yeah, it's either you're for the Barclays or against them, which is wrong. There shouldn't be. You should be able to be in the middle, if you like. You should be able to choose the best of both worlds. That is the best thing for the island, really. I'm not a politician.
It's a free world. If they want to pull out, they can do.
The price of democracy, you know, that if you don't like it, you leave, don't you? If you don't like somewhere, it's like when a woman chooses a man. They choose them for the things they like about them, and then sometimes they try and change them. And then when they have changed them, then they leave them. So, and it's a bit like, if you come to Sark and you like it for what it is, and you want to live there, why change it? You're not allowed on the island now. No, it's strictly private. They've got cannons up there as well. I don't know if they'd fire them at you. You see soon. Yeah, it's very well secured. Cameras and security guards and everything. You wouldn't get far on it. When you've got so much security around there, you must feel it's a bit like a prison. It's like in South Africa when people live in these all white communes, and you know, there's fences, razor wire, guard dogs. Looks like a concentration camp, doesn't it, from the outside? I had the BBC came on board one time, and they asked They asked the people if they could go on ashore, but they wouldn't let them. Well, they said they asked them, but in the well, what it was they pretended that they'd phoned the Barclays up and asked if they could go ashore, and then they said, and then they pretended that they were refused, but it wasn't that at all. It was just for the, just for the show sort of thing.
Sark news is a very strange weapon indeed. Every paragraph, every sentence is knocking somebody or other on the island. They have a grudge against somebody, for instance, like the Seigneur, whom they appear not to have liked from day one. And the Seneschal, I'm not quite sure why they don't like him, apart from his position is not human rights compliant, you might say. Mrs. Oliver, whomever Mrs. Oliver may be, it would be very nice if Mrs. Oliver would say exactly who they are, but they haven't got the guts to.
Mrs. Oliver is a mystery. She's an anathema. She communicates via email and a PO box in Guernsey. I presume she's a real person.
No idea. Absolutely no idea. A fictitious character, probably.
Well, we've all got a damn good idea. We can't say.
Members of that system are chameleon-like, and they're very quickly able to change from quite vicious opponents to very amiable, bumbling uncles, favourite aunties. But were you to break through that very thin veneer, and perhaps even go in through the front door and into the parlour, you would find banks of fax machines, computers, where they were thriving on what is termed as Sark lark.
People in Sark would hold directorships of companies, and they would hold lots and lots of directorships of companies for which they get fees, and this was a front, and the regulatory people couldn't really see what the companies were doing, and there was a lot of illicit and unlawful activity going on.